Welcome back to the Casual Gaming Conversation. I'm Connor. That's Nick. This is your weekly gaming podcast from Co-op 64. We're coming at you this week with a hot take, a big predictions episode redux. For those who know, we lost this episode originally to the stream, but we were coming with some new predictions here, and then we're going to rediscuss some of the older predictions a little bit as well. And then we're going to do a draft at the end. So instead of getting just predictions, you're also getting the hot take now and the draft at the end. So it's a little bit bonus for this week.
Bonus.
But yeah, we're coming off of a 24, which turned into a 30-hour stream, fundraiser stream, which you guys supported and made amazing for us. You guys supported us doing a whole suite of content throughout this year, and then supported us financially when it comes to buying new equipment. And so this setup is going to change pretty drastically in the next couple weeks. Be patient, give us time. We got to order everything.
We got to learn everything.
We got to learn how to. So once we get it ordered, we have to get it in here and learn how to use everything. We do have an audio guy who knows his way around this a little bit. An audio friend, not like a hired hand, but so he's going to be helping us out a little bit. But
and then also he's going to be teaching me, and then I need to be comfortable enough to, if something breaks, I need to know how to fix it, which is a whole extra can of worms. I need to know it pretty cold.
It's going to be a learning process, but for the time being, your guys' support was absolutely amazing, and we really can't believe how amazing that stream was.
Supported over 20 new pieces of content this year.
Yeah, including the Doug Challenge, which we're doing in a week.
Yep.
The fantasy draft is coming up. The top 4 donors and a random donor who got their name pulled out of a hat.
That will be this podcast. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we'll be doing that on the podcast. Shout out to Alex, Big Mac, Straw Hat Gumby, Tony, a.k.a. Zion, and Smalls. Yep. I think that's it for getting into the league. It's going to be a lot of fun. You get to join the league alongside me, Nick, Brady, and Shane.
It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, more Shane content, D&D one-shot, a meet and greet in November. So book your plane tickets to Columbus for the Torg Gaming Expo. I'm sure the whole landscape of this whole situation will be very different by the time we get there. But talking about it now, just throwing it out there for you guys. But yeah,
I don't even want to know what November for us looks like. Right. We live such week to week that's like almost insane to think about what's going to happen in February or March. I cannot tell you a single thing except for things that are already on the stream calendar because everything's already planned out for all the bonus content. I don't know what my life is in April. I don't know what it is in May, let alone in November.
What do we have scheduled out through at this point for this bonus content?
Every single piece of it.
No. What day? Like what month are we scheduled out to?
Oh, May.
May. Okay.
May for bonus content.
So you know what's happening until May.
For bonus content, I'm just saying life, like the channel, where we're at.
Gotcha. May is forever away. We're early days in 2024 right now.
I know.
We have a slate of amazing content, including me standing in front of a whiteboard and drunk explaining Kingdom Hearts. We're doing every single Mario Kart course in one long stream.
Yep.
February subathon for Final Fantasy VII Remake.
That wasn't even because you guys did anything. We're just doing that.
We're just doing a bunch of exciting stuff, and we're really happy to have you guys along for the ride with us. We're building something with you guys, for you guys, and I think that that's really important for me to say because this doesn't exist without you, and we're happy to be on this journey with you guys. And if you want to interact with us more, another thing that was funded was the Discord, which has been a blast to interact with the audience and just kind of chat on day-to-day stuff, see everybody's manga collections and their delicious food and recipes, and have them make fun of me for cutting my frozen pizzas in half and then putting the other half away so I can heat it up later because then it'll be fresh and good later. That is a perfectly valid thing to do.
Anyways,
it is.
The Discord will be linked below in the YouTube comment section. Go check it out if you want to join that. Super fun.
Yeah.
We're in it all the time. It's kind of insane how much we are in this Discord as of right now.
Too much, maybe.
Yeah.
Once we plug it on
TikTok?
On TikTok, it will be a completely different scenario.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I mean, this is just some insider baseball for you. When we hit 100,000, which we're very close to hitting 100,000, you have something for it. We're very close to hitting 100,000 on TikTok. We'll do a thank you video.
Oh, yeah.
And but we should be like, so many people are like, we want more of this. We want more. People are like, we want a podcast. I'm like, dude, we're on almost episode 20 of this podcast.
Yeah.
How do you not know? It's just because not everybody sees every video. So we'll do we're streaming these days, which we stream Monday through Thursday, 7 to 10. And then we podcast every Thursday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I gotcha. Soon to be Monday. Podcast will be coming to Spotify. Can this one be the first one to come to Spotify? Can we do that tonight?
No.
Why not?
Because I've said it many times, financial reasons. We need to get a automatic payment for the RSS feed to set up.
Does that cost money?
Yes.
For an RSS feed? I didn't know that.
And I don't want that on my individual stuff. I want that on company stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, didn't mean to go too deep into insider baseball there, but there you go. It'll be coming soon. I just wanted to give the audience some sort of
heads up.
Because we said January for a long time, but we were setting up the Discord and getting that ready to go.
That's the thing. We have a lot of different pieces of content planned and a lot of different fun mediums we're going down. But every single thing is a learning process and almost like a privilege might be the wrong word at this point. The Discord, I fully believe that, where it's like at any moment if somebody's like, if it gets toxic, we will boo people, we'll kick people out, or if the whole thing goes to shit, we'll just delete it. It's fine. We have the power to do that. But things like the new equipment, the RSS feed, like we are taking things one step at a time to make sure that we can handle it and then handle it to some degree. Then we'll worry about the next thing. Then handle it, then worry about the next thing. Mm-hmm. But January is still the goal. I'd be dumbfounded if it wasn't closer to mid-January than late January. But it's one of those things of, we have a lot of other shit we have to be doing. We have to be playing games for review. We have to be living our lives and doing other social things. It's not just this company, and we have full-time jobs. And so, yeah, it's going to be a lot, but it's a lot of fun.
Let's do the developer direct at the end, because I don't want to spoil my predictions. We're not playing anything really new currently. I'm hopping into the new Valorant season. Yeah,
I'm playing Halo Combat Evolved still in my free time and enjoying that. That's going to be put on the back burner as we review certain games. And January is a busy month, and February is a busy month, and March is a busy month for games.
Yeah, it's going to be weird because it's like I like to mix in my retro and my older stuff, and I don't know where the break is in any of this that I'm going to have time to play the superfluous stuff, the stuff that is for me rather than for getting a review out or being able to talk about the hottest, newest games. Or whatever.
We the way we look at it too is because we don't have a deep team, we have you and I need to play almost everything. There's so few games that will be only one of us plays this year. I think the prime example is Tekken 8. You don't have to touch Tekken 8. That's just going to be, I come on the podcast, I give my review. We're good. You're going to play Tekken 8 because fighting games, group streams, whatever. But it's not necessary. But for a lot of the big stuff, Rise of the Ronin, FF7 Rebirth, Prince of Persia, Lost Crown, these are all games that are you're going to get both of our opinions on because we're both very excited about, but it's going to be a really odd day when the game we're reviewing is not played by both of us. And so we got to play a lot of major releases. Somebody said this, and I wish I remembered who tweeted it out because I have no idea. It was a comment on someone else's tweet, but somebody said Q1 of 2024 is just Q5 of 2023.
Right.
It's literally just the tagged on epilogue of the greatest year in gaming history, where it's just oh my gosh.
That's the problem though, is that I'm worried that it's front stacked. It's really just going to come down to Nintendo for sure.
I don't even think that now, but we can talk about that in just a moment with our predictions.
Right. All right. Want to hop into the hot takes first?
Yeah, I can rip mine real quick.
Yeah, go for it, buddy.
My hot take for this week is the best and most consistent series coming out at a fast enough clip right now in modern gaming is Resident Evil. Resident Evil is coming through way hotter, way faster than any other game. The remakes are either some of the best games ever, or in 3's case, It's all right. It's good.
Mm.
And then 7 is one of the scariest games ever. I literally couldn't beat that game. I now have to beat that game because you guys is funding. But I don't want to beat that game. I have to now. And 8's great. These games come out every 2 years. Every single time, it's one of the best games that year. The big publishers that like are cranking out games left and right, a lot of these series don't hit at the same amount of like clip, and then the greatness isn't there. All these games, to some level, are great video games, and that is unbelievable. You can't say that about a lot of teams. Might not be even too hot of a take. I just want to shout out that team. Capcom's killing it right now, especially with that franchise.
Yeah, I would say you're like looking like an 8.5 average.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like maybe 8.75.
But how often there's Insomniac, with the way that they're releasing games, is also up there at that clip of like terrificness once every couple of years. I mean,
I wouldn't say the highs are as high as
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil. Yeah. Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 4 remake and Resident Evil 2 remake are like
some of the best
horror
games
are probably
of all time.
all better than Spider-Man. I don't know.
It's close.
Yeah, it's close.
For me, Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart is like one of my favorite games ever.
It's
like that's
close.
so.
It's a conversation
good.
to be had.
But like, I would love that. Would be such a weird like discussion of pitting certain franchises together, especially recently. But yeah, I think Resident Evil is right now doing it different. I want to give them their credit, and yeah, that's my hot take for this week.
Sweet, short and sweet.
Yep.
Mine's gonna be probably short and sweet too. My gaming hot take for this week: if I could trade the PS5 era PlayStation for PS3 era PlayStation, I would do it in a heartbeat. And that is to say, I way prefer Sony on their back foot than in the lead, cocky, chasing trends, and just focusing on the future and making great games and creating great new IP and being a little weird with it and everything. Like, I miss weird Sony. Like, and we don't get that anymore.
Though?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes. I don't want only big budget AAA games or free to play or what am I looking for? Live service games. Like, that's where we're heading, and that's where I think we're possibly getting away from based off of Jim Ryan's departure and the conversations that are happening around Sony and the issues with Bungie and so on and so forth. I think we're getting away from that, but the PS3 era that was really grim at the start, that had Sony on their back foot and then had them throttling back into first place and ending up beating Xbox 360 in that generation when it comes to overall sales. Like, I think that's the Sony that I want right now, way more than the Sony that I want that we currently have.
I mean, that's fair. The games, though, are just... I'd rather, though, very well-produced once or twice a year exclusives that we're getting on the Sony end compared to the PS3 era, where it was like, this your first-party major title might not have been as polished or as fun as some of the modern games we have.
I disagree with that almost fully. The PS3 era,
what were you
first-party...
Where are you going?
What games?
Yeah.
Infamous, Uncharted, Killzone, Resistance, Ratchet and Clank.
All you said is Uncharted.
The Last of Us.
I mean, The Last of Us. Yeah.
God of War 3.
You'd rather God of War 3 than something like
a
Spider-Man 2.
I'm not saying no, not necessarily. I'm just saying that like we were getting Little Big Planet 1 and 2.
We were getting some weird games in there, and I do appreciate the weird games. What I'm saying is I think that Sony, with their development time, because it takes a lot longer to develop games nowadays, they're like, if we're going to hit, it needs to hit, and that's why they're playing a little bit safer with the sequels. But I do, I want to, we discuss all the time, new IP, want to get creative with Sony. Why can't they make something creative with one of these larger teams? Take the subsect, make something like Hi-Fi Rush. I get that, but at the same time, because of these development times, I think that they just have to hit with what they got, and that's sort of just what where we're at with gaming.
So, but the point is that it's not about necessarily the games. The conversation kind of devolved into like library versus library, which is fine. I still prefer the PS3 library as it stands right now.
Okay.
To the PS5. We're earlier days on the PS5, so we're
about halfway through.
It's a very different conversation in 3 years probably. But it was more about attitude and strategy for PlayStation that I preferred during the PS3 era. Is kind of what I was talking about. Yeah.
All right. Dope. Sounds good.
Let me get into the predictions for 2024. We each are bringing 3 predictions for each major publisher: Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch, whatever that is.
Let's start out with Team Green.
Team Green. You're the only person who says that. You do know that, right? I've never heard anybody
That's
else
a Snowbike Mikeism.
I've never heard anybody say Team Green.
I love calling them Team Green. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel warm inside. I don't know why, but it does.
Team Green, Xbox, first prediction, Avowed, coming out before Hellblade.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Okay, we'll talk about that is wild. We'll talk about the developer direct at the end of this podcast, so before the draft for a while. I could see it.
Yeah.
Because in my world, I'm like, Avowed is smaller. It might be like a breadth of like a big map and everything and wider, but it's so less like frame by frame, visually impressive, right. And like the sound design that you're gonna get with Hellblade, like that game looks ethereal and like blow your hair back and like just like whoa compared to Avowed when we finally saw gameplay. It was like, oh, like this is like Sea of Thieves almost. Like this is like a tier down from your major AAA bangers.
It doesn't look like on the same level like visually as like you would expect from the next Elder Scrolls probably, but which I might not be a great comparison based off of how Starfield ended up looking. But you know what I mean, like like a huge like major AAA. It's a little bit below what you expect from AAA visually. That doesn't mean the game's really bad by any means.
No.
Like visuals don't really matter that much to me in this instance. If the game is fun, which it looks fun, I think it could come out earlier just based off of the caginess with the Hellblade release dates. No season, no dates, no window, no nothing. Just 2024. So that doesn't mean Hellblade's not coming out in 2024.
It's definitely coming out in 2024.
Okay.
I with the developer direct being announced, I would bet.
You think we see a date?
A lot. We'll talk about that later. But okay. I would bet a lot that we get news.
But could you see it even if we get the release date for Hellblade? Could you see Avowed being before?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. In the same way that last year the conversation was before that developer direct, what are we going to get first? Are we going to get Redfall or are we going to get Starfield first? Like that, those were the 2 big games that we expected from that developer direct. Starfield didn't show up. We then were like, okay, Redfall's probably going to be there before. But I'm really interested to see whether or not Avowed delivers the goods when it does, because I do believe that if it's a little bit longer of a dev time, I kind of hope Avowed is after, because I think that game needs maybe a little bit more time in the cooker just to make sure it gets done.
I just don't know off the top of my head if. I don't know off the top of my head how long Obsidian games usually take.
I feel like they're big enough that they crank them out decently fast.
Yeah, but nothing like crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. How long has it been since Outer Worlds?
Oh, it's 2017.
No. Let me look that up. I got it.
Do you want me to hop into my next prediction? I like that prediction. It's a good prediction.
I think my guess is 19.
That actually also checks. 1918. No, it's before 2020 for sure. All right, my first
19,
cool. My first prediction for Xbox is Xbox raises its price even more on Game Pass, and it's met with large disdain. Right now, they need to be proving it. They need to show with that first-party lineup that it is worth everyone's money, and then they need to make the correct partnerships to make everyone worth it. But right now, everyone, as subscriptions get higher, every single time it's met with what the hell's happening.
But people don't. There's no real repercussions for it.
Yeah,
nobody like there isn't this major exodus. It doesn't just because we all talk about how annoying it is. Like I talked about how annoying the price increase was for PlayStation Premium or PlayStation Plus Premium, and I was like, I am canceling this or I'm lowering my tier, and like I forgot about it, and then I was like, and then it charged me, and I was like, well, I guess I just have this now, and I'm like, all right. Like,
honestly, I this might be a hot take, but I would love them for them to increase the price, because that way they're making some more money. Maybe they're able to go out and make some better partners. Yeah. Like to go and actually really feed the subscription.
Well, they're gonna need to pay for fucking Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna cost them a lot of money in the long term, and we just have to see them make that money back. And how are they going to do that? They're going to do that through Game Pass. They're probably going to do
it through Game Pass, but also, now that they own Call of Duty, they get every single battle. They're going to get some money back from every battle pass they sell or anything like that. But yeah, I think it's going to happen. And I think it's the world we live in. It almost feels like a guarantee at this point. Not if, but a when. And I think that it will be met with disdain. But like I said, I'm not going to be too upset about it. I get it. If you're offering more great games and the reason I kind of want to get through Xbox first is to then after the fact do a little Xbox sandwich, talk about that developer direct, what we expect from it. I'm stoked. I'm stoked for this year.
Speaking of, I think you're definitely on the money there for the price increase. And speaking of making their money back, there will be official confirmation of a timeline for Xbox games releasing on other platforms announced this year. A year later, day and date for some, who knows? But there will be some sort of conversation, some sort of press release. Phil Spencer being like, we're excited to announce that Xbox games will be coming to Switch. Select Xbox games will be coming to Switch a year later for this. This game is coming day and date. Blade is coming day and dates to PlayStation. Like,
day and date.
I'm not saying that that's.
Okay.
I'm not saying that that's what. That's an example for. I think it very well could come day and date, but yeah, I think Xbox will, based off of them needing to make money back from this deal and the caginess around Blade, and then we're seeing this with Hi-Fi Rush right now coming to Switch, and we're seeing like a lot of games being ported over. Even like Cuphead, which isn't a first-party studio, came over to PlayStation at some point.
I think,
is Ori on PlayStation or is it just Switch?
I think Switch makes sense. I don't know. Someone
It's definitely on. It's definitely on
the comments.
It's definitely on Switch, but I don't know if it's on PlayStation. But they have a history of releasing on other platforms. I think that we will see them still on their back foot, and Game Pass numbers are not as high as they would like them to be. Yep. We'll see how Call of Duty affects that. But I could see a path in the future that certain games will be coming over to other platforms.
This is just a thought of mine with the Call of Duty thing and discussing this year. How smart would it be if they're like, it's on just console Game Pass? They would sell so many freaking boxes.
Yeah, they're never going to do that, though. It's like they've already let the genie out of the bottle on so many of these games that it's kind of like how they announced that all Xbox or first-party games are day and date on Game Pass. You can never go back from that.
I know, but they've never said that. Well, yeah, it's now first-party. You're right. So it's got to. But that's just Game Pass. It's not always going to be Xbox Game Pass or PC Game Pass.
No, it's Game Pass.
I don't know. I could see a world where they rein that back a little bit. If they wanted to make a shit ton of money and actually sell some boxes, that's how you do it. I know they don't really care about
selling boxes,
but they care about selling subscriptions. But what I'm saying is, if you're telling me that every COD is $10, if I own an Xbox, I would buy an Xbox just for that, and I know the large masses of consumers would do the same.
Right.
All right. My next one. It's a discussion on whether it's going to come out this year, or it's a discussion we'll have at the end of this podcast. Hellblade 2 is going to win Game of the Year. It's going to win Game of the Year.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about this one.
It's
so dumb.
There's only a few games that can do it. There's only a few games that can actually do it, and I think that the artsy-fartsy, like when we're sitting down, if this game does what it's trying to do, if it accomplishes its goal is to be Xbox's showpiece.
Yeah.
Like its goal is to be like this single-player game that really you sit down and you're like, this is it. Like, this is gaming. And I know that the Xbox misses on that every now and then. I believe that it's possible. Mm-hmm. And so I'm just going to throw it out there. Call my shot.
If you hit your shot, it's going to be legendary. I think this is so far off base, based off of what I am a certified
You're so
Hellblade
about
hater.
the trailer that we saw at the Game Awards being like the...
I've been about every trailer we've seen. Every trailer we've seen so far, I'm like, they're hiding something.
They gave us 5 minutes or 7 minutes of gameplay, Connor.
No, they didn't.
During the Game Awards in 2021, they gave you 7 minutes.
It looked like it didn't look like anything that I want to play. It looked like a. I know that Sony makes people like they make movie games, but the movie aspects still have good gameplay in there or whatever, like stuff that I would enjoy playing. That 7 minutes looked like nonsense of her just running away
from a big baby,
throw thing, running away. Throw thing. I'm like, this doesn't look fun at all. Like, I know, but it looks very cinematic.
The visuals are there. If the gameplay delivers, there's only a few games that like can do overall the visuals, the gameplay, the music, the story. I think that most of those pieces are there. I know a big piece of it is the gameplay. And it would be a lot easier. Connor, I'm not trying to come in here with just like
and I'm not giving
a little bit of spice. I'm coming up with the chili pepper, Connor. I'm bringing the big spice. Okay, right. I need to go and say something. And would it be easier to say Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the greatest game of all time, is gonna win Game of the Year? Yeah, but no, I'm coming in here hot, and I'm saying I believe. Okay, in Team Green.
I didn't mean to call your take dumb, by the way. It's funny because like I need to keep reiterating that we're brothers, so like I don't think I would be like dumb to like anybody else, but since you're my brother, I feel like I can just give you that jab.
Yeah, I mean, the reason we shoot this podcast is these are the conversations we were having on the phone anyway for a couple hours, so we shoot a pod now.
Yeah. My third take, Cuphead 2, announced, Xbox exclusive. To start, at least. Probably going to be in development hell for forever, as the first one was, because this game is so painstakingly gorgeous and difficult to make. But I feel like Studio MDHR like has the blueprint now and knows what they're doing, and I don't want them to make the same mistake as Shovel Knight made, where Shovel Knight comes out, it's a phenomenon, and then they make like these DLC offshoots for it for a decade, and have not put out a new game since Mita the Hollower, I think is what it's called. It is a Game Boy inspired one that is coming out soon, but it's still like it feels like too little too late. Like, give me your next game, you know what I mean? Like, keep pushing this forward. Don't give me like
I mean, the delicious last course though is my biggest fear with that prediction.
It's like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, 2022, 2021, one of those two.
Maybe it's sooner than that, actually. I'm not sure. Was it last year?
I think it might have been last year.
Can you look it up?
Yeah.
Do you know why it's called the Delicious Last Course?
No.
Take the first letters of that.
Oh, it's DLC?
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
Hell yeah.
I didn't know that for so long. But yeah, either way, I think you can still announce it.
I mean, we're working on it. It's Xbox. They can announce their games forever in advance. They don't give a flying shit. Trying to get a year. It came out less than a year and a half ago.
Okay,
that's summer of 22.
You can still announce it.
Yeah, totally. I get that, and I don't disagree with it. I think that they want some of their bigger IP to re-show up in some major ways this year.
And it's not necessarily like so. This is showing up on every console now, so like it's not a guarantee that it's an exclusive, but like. If Xbox can lock that down, that's still big for them. I bought my second Xbox One because I had sold my first one for Cuphead.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to play it so badly.
You ready for prediction number 3 from your boy?
Really? I thought we already did 3. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Hit me. I just had Hellblade and price raised.
Yeah.
What did you have 3 already?
Yeah.
Avowed?
Cuphead, Avowed, and Xbox games coming to other than
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. You know me. I'm a simple man. I like simple things. I like swords in large shapes and in skinny shapes. There's a game that does it really well. I'm gonna say that it's finally gonna happen. Final Fantasy VII Remake comes to Xbox.
Never gonna happen.
They said it last year that Phil was still trying to cook something up, and he's like, we brought Ep.18 on Xbox.
Finally. That's the only credence that I think adds to your
I think that they've always wanted to do it. Xbox is clamoring to get that on their system at this point.
But making Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth a PlayStation game is so important to Sony. I mean, Sony's.
But I think that it's the other way, where it's like, hey, you go and you put it on Xbox, in the same way we talk about putting certain games on other systems. Right. You know that, I played Remake on Xbox. I'll pick up a console just to play Rebirth. It's that good of a game.
Yeah.
It could be a system seller. That's my last prediction.
I doubt it, but...
You doubt it?
Yeah.
Dude, I did not understand what you said, by the way.
That's a really old Podcast Beyond reference. Okay. Colin and Greg used to be like, I doubt it, to each other. All right, do you want to hop into Sony? PlayStation?
Sure. My first Sony...
Why do you get to go again? You just started. You just went.
I don't know how I did the first prediction.
You didn't.
Oh, you're right. I didn't. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're good.
There we go. We're back.
I was wondering I thought we doubled up somewhere.
We are professionals. If that wasn't.
There's a reason we call it the casual gaming conversation, not the professional gaming conversation.
first PlayStation prediction. PlayStation acquires Arrowhead, but that's the extent of their acquisitions for this year due to fear of another Bungie situation. They gotta lock it in. You know who Arrowhead is?
No.
Helldivers.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
That's the only thing that makes sense for them at this point. The only studio that they have a lot of second party history with right now, like publishing their games. There's other studios that I could see them doing, like the Stellar Blade studio. If that game comes out and does really well, you can see that happening.
Yeah.
You can see Team Ninja down the line or whatever. But for right now, for this year, Arrowhead, they're keeping it quiet. They're keeping it safe. They got bit in the butt by doing something in response to Xbox by just going out and buying Bungie, which makes no sense.
They at the time were going all live service. They needed them live service games.
But that was the thing. They jumped too fast.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
totally.
even think they knew what they were buying.
Yeah.
Clearly, I don't even think Bungie knew what they
were
had.
selling.
Yeah, like they thought they were like the forefront, the masters of the live service game, and they missed their revenue target by 50% last year. Like.
Yep.
It's bad at Bungie. So I think with that in mind, Sony's just going to be like, okay, slow it down, focus on what makes us great, single player, first party games. Arrowhead makes sense. We bring them in. They give us a kind of a live service aspect. This more than just like a single player game. It was something that can be played with friends, a co-op experience with Helldivers. And I think Helldivers 2 is going to do really great. Based off of what we've seen so far, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So if that does well and it's a hit, I could see them being announced very shortly after it, similar to what happened with Bluepoint and...
Demon's Souls.
No, and what was the other? And Housemarque. Yeah.
Okay. Here's my issue with it, and it's not one of my predictions, but I thought about making it a prediction. Helldivers 2 comes out, and it's just not great. It's just good. It's just a fun time.
I doubt it.
What if it's... But, like, from what I've seen of that game, it's not, like... It's not pulling me in, except for the fact... Really? Yeah. I'm not like, oh my god,
everything about that game screams like a huge step up from the first one. First of all.
Okay, but a huge step up from something that I didn't care about is not saying a lot.
But there's enough people who like... It feels like kind of... So Risk of Rain to Risk of Rain 2. Risk of Rain's like a side-scroller little thing, and Risk of Rain 2 is like a third-person type of deal. It's similar here, where Risk of Rain 2, like... blew up.
I know, but
and I think Helldivers 2 could be in a similar situation where it's like, okay, we're seeing this come to the next level. There's fans of the first one who are clamoring for more, like me, who want more Helldivers. You get in there, it's way big budget. Like it looks like a
next gen game,
Sony first party game in some ways. Like it really does.
I don't see. That's where I lose it. Where I'm like, I don't think it does.
I think it looks great. I think it's gonna be awesome. And I think a lot of people are gonna be really surprised.
And
it's $40 too.
That's the best part of it. They should also throw it on PlayStation Premium in my opinion.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Just imagine
that would be great. Boop. That noise I just made wasn't on purpose. It just came out of me. I was like that just flowed out. That would be awesome.
That was gross.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sorry everybody. My goodness.
PlayStation prediction number 1. It's a follow-up to my hot takes today. We will get the next Resident Evil announced at a September State of Play. It will be Resident Evil 9. It just, the cadence.
But then when does it come out? Like March?
It comes out the next year, March-ish.
Because they love releasing
they love
early
March.
year.
They love owning the early year cycle at this point because not a lot of banger games come out. I mean, we're in a world now where it just feels like there's a new banger game every couple weeks. But they love owning that moment, and they love that cadence. They love showing their shit at Sony stuff. I don't think they will see it at the showcase this year if there is one. And I think that September State of Play, they love showing up for the September State of Play in a major way, especially with their third party. I'm saying this is State of Play, September.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And they last year it was basically a full partner State of Play, and we got things like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I forget if we got Dragon's Dogma. I don't think so. But they love these partnership deals, and Capcom and them are as tight as ever. State of Play. They own the State of Play. They own that entire news cycle of the day with that announcement. Mm-hmm. It's going to be awesome. I'm stoked for it. I think that's almost a guaranteed. The only reason that I dialed it in to say it's the September State of Play because I'm like, it's either the showcase or it's the State of Play at the end of the year. It's going to happen.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. So Resident Evil 2021.
21.
I think, and so 2025. That makes perfect sense, especially if they're using the same engine or like assets or whatever from which seems like what they did between 7 and 8. And it makes sense.
So yeah, you take a break of a year and then you get right back to it. That's how it feels like recently with these games. It's awesome.
2019 and then 2021 for Resident Evil 2. No,
there was a 3 year. There was 3 in a row. We got 3 in a row
because Resident Evil 3 was originally in the package for Resident Evil 2. Do you know this?
Yeah.
It was supposed to be one game, and they were like, we'll
separate it, make a couple more bucks. Yeah. Why not?
Let me real quick on this. Resident Evil 3 is a good game.
That's good.
It's just not as good as Resident Evil 2 remake.
Yeah.
But also Resident Evil 3 remake Resident Evil 3 original isn't as good as Resident Evil 2. So it's like, what do you expect? It's like, that just is what it is.
Nick Saban's retiring.
Really?
Yeah. Someone just texted me
Whoa.
that. Sorry if you don't like
Pete
sports.
Carroll.
I know. Oh my gosh. We can talk about this.
We're really dating ourselves right now. This happened weeks ago.
It's going to be tomorrow or this post. It's fine.
I'm just saying if somebody's listening to it later down the line. Yeah.
Totally.
This is evergreen content for 2024.
That is
evergreen.
True.
Well, it's good for like a few months.
I would say it's good for a lot of months. I mean, I have a Game of the Year prediction on this bad boy.
Gotcha.
Well, it's good for a while. The worst part is when Hellblade comes out and it just sucks and you're going to be like, you said though. And I'm like, I know.
Right.
All right.
It's funny. My philosophy from the last time we did this and what I've changed is like totally flipped the script on Sony for this year.
You went from bad to good?
No, I honestly think I went from making it seem better than the situation was. But I think it's all going to be fine because we're not getting anything else from Sony first party this year aside from Concord. Instead, they will focus on strong second party titles and timed exclusive deals like with Silent Hill 2 Remake. It will not hurt them in the long run sales-wise. It's not going to fucking matter. We saw this last year with a very quiet year from PlayStation with Spider-Man 2. They're gearing up for the last 3 years of the PS5 at this point, which will probably have hits from Sucker Punch and Naughty Dog and Bend. Like, we're going to get some big games from the big studios.
I could also see Guerrilla coming back around for a Horizon 3 at the end of the
possibly
console.
Horizon 3, another Insomniac game, another Bluepoint game, another remake of some kind.
Also,
so I'm saying we're gearing up.
Also, Sony Santa Monica with Cory Barlog's game will happen on this console. It will.
We're just in a weird holding pattern right now with them. They're getting their ducks in a row. Jim Ryan's out. They're bringing somebody else in. Well, we currently have somebody, but I don't think he's staying as the person. But the strategies are changing. Their third-party and second-party relationships that they have currently for this year look really good. Really good. So if the second half of the year is Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta, which is not exclusive, correct? But I think the marketing is with PlayStation.
A little bit of both.
Okay.
They showed up at Xbox partner showcase.
So playing the field a little bit there. So that comes out September. Silent Hill 2 Remake, October, November. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. Like, you can live with that. And then, like, you also have, like, your Call of Duties and your stuff to fill out the year, stuff that we don't know about yet from third-party Star Wars Outlaws coming out or whatever, like, stuff like that. And this last year, it didn't matter at all. Sony had their best year ever with the PS5 this last year.
I do think, though, that they did have two major titles. One being FF16, which was a showcase piece.
It was
4
million consoles.
I know,
4 million copies.
I know
That's not that huge, crazy.
But then there's Spider-Man.
Yes.
And what I'm saying is...
But it was doing great before that.
But I'm saying Rebirth, and then something else is what I think that they want.
Is what they want. I don't think they're going to get it, and I don't think we're going to get it, and I think it's going to be fine.
Well, I'm going to go and pair your prediction with one of mine. Sony Showcase will happen in May. It'll be just all right.
It's going to be tragic.
And,
the PlayStation fan base is going to be in shambles.
I hope
after the last one being just all right.
They need to come out and immediately say that this showcase is less than 50 minutes, or else I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah.
Because then at least the expectations are set. Because we had an over an hour showcase, and we were just like, please, we need more. We need, like, give us something. Marathon, okay, that's cool, but, like, where's what we want? And,
right.
Like,
where's the goods?
Where's the goods? They didn't deliver the goods. And then to end this prediction, it's one that I had from the other night. Concord will look great. It'll look great. And Nick will go, Or I say wow, and apparently I wrote a U at the end, so I just say wow, ooh. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I think that there's a chance that I have another. I'm gonna hop into my next prediction because I think that they pair together. Mm-hmm. I do think we get one more thing from Sony, and that prediction is also this prediction is something I've said before. It's going to be Bluepoint. Bluepoint's going to come in. It is time. I don't know if it's a remake. I don't know if it's new IP, but they are going to be the I Need a Hero scene, Shrek 2 coming in. We need someone to do it. Someone needs to step up, and I think Bluepoint is the team. The timeline for me makes sense, where it's like, I don't expect this game to be long. I don't expect it to be too big, but it's going to look damn good. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be not a system seller necessarily, but it's going to give a PlayStation fan base something that can compete against Indiana Jones, Hellblade, Avowed, like something there that's like, please deliver.
What could they possibly be remaking?
I don't think
there
it's
would
remake.
be a huge.
They said we're working on new stuff, Connor.
No, it's not what they said. New stuff, and that can be taken as new stuff.
No,
right?
People asked them, "Are you making another remake?" And then they're like, "We're making new stuff." And
I hope they're not. I hope they're not making a new game.
Oh, I pray they're making a new game.
I hope they are the remake studios. They're the best at doing that in the industry.
I know, or they're so good at it. I trust them. I want them to make something new.
What if it's Bloodborne? That's the thing. That is the system seller right there.
Yeah, it is. It's not going to be Bloodborne.
I don't know if Sony or From owns that IP. I think Sony does.
I think Sony does also.
I think they do.
You can fact check us on that again in the comments if we're wrong.
All right.
So I'm out of PlayStation predictions because I doubled up.
I only have one more.
Yep, that makes sense.
Ghost of Tsushima 2 will be revealed at the PlayStation Showcase. And sooner than we think. Not this year, but sooner than you think. I think it's the first up of the major studios that we were just talking about. I think they're probably the closest. Naughty Dog was using resources on Factions. That probably hurt whatever the next game is. Ben Studios was trying to make Days Gone 2, and then that got shut down. That puts them further out. I think Ghost of Tsushima 2 makes a lot of sense.
I think it's Blue. And Bluepoint just makes smaller games.
I understand what you're saying. I'm not. I wouldn't even consider Bluepoint as in that same echelon as the guys we're talking about.
Okay, that's fair.
And especially if they're making a remake, the conversation's very different around a remake. The only conversation that will be a huge system seller, in my opinion, is Bloodborne because of Elden Ring. I know that it's a different studio because of Elden Ring from Software, but Bloodborne from Software game, given to Bluepoint or whatever, has this aura around it because it's stuck on the PS4, but it's a lot of people's favorite From Software game still, and it needs to come over. That wait has been forever. Like, the conversation, the buzz around it would be insane.
So stupidly convinced, and if it is a remake, you can jump on the table, you can laugh at me, you can laugh in my face, you can say mean things to me. I am okay with that. It is not going to be a remake, Connor. It will not be a remake. I am promising you it will not be a remake. It is the thing that literally they came out and said, we're making original content. And everyone was like, so that means it's a remake, right? Why is that the assumption on this?
I need to find the clip of what you're saying because I can't really speak on it. But
you hop into your next prediction. I'm going to look into this. I need to look into this now or else I'm going to be upset.
All right, I'm going to do the longer one then so I can have a little more time. The reason Twilight Princess hasn't been ported to we're hopping to Nintendo.
Oh, yeah, we're doing Nintendo.
The reason Twilight Princess hasn't been ported to Switch is that they are fully remaking it, a complete visual overhaul like Wind Waker, but additional gameplay tweaks and modernizations will come along with it. End of the year 2024, continuing Nintendo's cycle of releasing a console with 3D Mario and Zelda in the first year.
I mean, it's possible.
There's a reason that we haven't seen these games on Switch yet. And if they do the lazy thing, which I could see them doing and just packaging them together and releasing it together, which they basically did with 3D All-Stars on the Switch,
they're still doing
fart it out.
They're literally doing that. 100%.
But this would be such a good system seller, in my opinion, along with Mario, that I think it's worth doing. What is the studio that made Link's Awakening working on? The Link's Awakening remake. Just give it that treatment, but in a bigger scale.
I think that's the issue with it. It's a much bigger undertaking.
Okay, but they did a fantastic job at that. Give them this,
yeah.
And it's taken longer, you would imagine, than whatever that took. It's been since 2018 or so. I was in college when that came out. Yeah, so
I could totally see it. I'm going to hop into my first one. It's one that I almost want to bring up during the Xbox conversation, but I think this is a easy money to bank prediction at this point. Hi-Fi Rush is shown to come to Switch during the February Direct, and it'll be out that day to replicate that same magic that it had during the Xbox showcase.
This is a weak prediction.
I think that there's a little
There's
bit
no spice there at all.
I'm calling the Direct that it's at, which is the February Direct. I'm saying it's the next coming Direct. So if I don't get that right, I don't get a point. I'm saying
the Developer Direct?
No, it's not the Developer Direct. The next Nintendo Direct.
No, it's getting shown at the developer. It's getting announced for Switch.
Oh no, I think it's getting announced for Switch at the next Nintendo Direct. I think that it comes out day and date.
But the timing doesn't make any sense for this rumor to start swirling right before the Developer Direct gets announced.
But then there's the Sea of Thieves rumors. There's a lot of rumors about this stuff.
Sea of Thieves supposed to come to Switch?
There's talk of Sea of Thieves coming to everything. Yeah.
At least credence to my argument from earlier.
But once again, here's my big disagreement with you. Never day and date. They will always squeeze out the Xbox audience as much as they can get out of them, and then they'll go.
Here's the reason: the audience is so much bigger on PlayStation.
I know, and they will get that audience a year later. Why wouldn't they do? You need to
because the argument that one might have is pay $70 on PlayStation or pay $10 for Game Pass and get all these games here. Pay $70 multiple times for every single one of our games. Or you can pay $10 and buy our console.
They're going to do that. They're going to do that for every live service game in the future.
And you can create fan bases for these franchises on PlayStation.
There's a reason that everyone does it years later. PlayStation does it a year plus later for PC. It's because they want to double dip. I know that they don't because they're Microsoft. They are literally Microsoft. Yeah. They are PC. But this makes sense to every single ounce of hype for an Xbox game is an Xbox game. They do not want to just be a publisher for these other consoles. They want to squeeze out their audience and give these hype moments to get people to buy Game Pass in the first place. And then it gets thrown in the discussion you just had of $70 versus $10. If you put it out a year later, you got all the $10 consumers. Right. Now you're convincing either the $70 consumers spend $70 to come here. And it's the same. The timeline of it just allows you to go and squeeze out the Xbox.
I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm just saying Xbox is in a really weird spot that we've never seen before, where they are getting mollywopped currently in the console sales, and they just spent $70 billion.
But guess what? They got the games this year. We'll talk about that in a second.
Okay. Switch 2 releases in August 2024. Originally, I had Mario Donkey Kong as a launch title. Yep. Still think that happens, of course. But on top of that, that's not a part of the prediction. This is a prediction. Hollow Knight Silk Song, launch title.
Great.
It's happened.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Finally time.
That was one of my predictions, and I told you that's not going to be one of my predictions today. Yeah. I
think it being a launch title is big.
Yeah, I think that it's not a launch title.
Okay.
I think that it gets shown. It might be a launch title. I think it gets shown when the announcement of the console happens. Well, I don't know when that's going to happen. I love that this is a multifaceted prediction because it's not just, hey, it's a summertime Switch, and also Hollow Knight comes out. What?
Summertime Switch. I had one more summertime.
Sorry. Were you doing Summertime Sadness, by the way?
Isn't it summertime? Yeah, okay. I don't know the lyrics clearly.
Okay. That's what I was rocking. But I it's multifaceted in a way that all that is believable to me, but because in my mind, Hollow Knight is a Switch game. Mm-hmm. That's just the
way that people think about it. Even though it's been shown at Xbox showcases.
Same way with Metal Gear that's a PlayStation game. All right. My next one, another basically Xbox prediction: Call of Duty Warzone will be playable on Switch 2, and it'll be shown during the Switch reveal event. They need to show people dropping in with a actual it was a big moment for them to show, hey, you can run Fortnite on this. Yeah. This is a next gen console enough that you can run a battle royale and load in.
You can play Warzone on PS4 right now too, right?
Yeah, totally.
And if it's as powerful as a PS4,
exactly. They want to show that this game can run and kick some serious ass, and I think that is such a
and they had that commitment.
I know from Xbox, it's going to come. Those games are coming to Switch. I think though that the main prediction there is we get this reveal event. The Nintendo exclusives are popping off, but then they're like, for your mature games. I was thinking Assassin's Creed's a possibility that they show someone getting Hidden Blade or something like that, but most likely I think Warzone is just such an easy. Like it's a showpiece for a console like that, and I think they need that when it comes to proving the power of it.
My final prediction
for just Nintendo.
For Nintendo,
yeah,
because we have one crazy prediction left after this, right?
Oh, I have 2 predictions left down. You're right. I didn't say one of these predictions before, so I'm only gonna do one crazy prediction. Yes.
My final Nintendo prediction: Star Fox returns. Announced with no release date, just a teaser. And I just am thinking about this right now, continuing Nintendo's streak of announcing a return of a franchise too early and then just never delivering.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it won't happen. They've learned their lesson with Metroid Prime 4.
That would be so funny. But they're like Star Fox are woohoo, and then it just comes out in a decade like Metroid Prime 4 did.
Or will, yeah. That's not happening. It's totally not happening.
They're not making it in-house. They're giving it to somebody else. Like they kind of did with Platinum, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Even though it didn't really work out with Star Fox Zero, I could still see them being like, we just got to get this franchise going again.
I know. It needs to be. They need
give
to
it
do something.
Do like an indie studio.
Yeah.
Give it the or make something small and refreshing, like we're getting with Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Like give it something. Paint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
new coat of paint doesn't need to be this crazy thing.
Like focus it in. You know.
Make it fun. That's always one of my least favorite things to say, and I say it all the time, but trying to make the game fun, that's really hard to do. Finding the fun in the game is difficult, but these people are extremely creative. That's why devs are the coolest.
They got too in the weeds with Zero. They were having chicken leg running sections or whatever, land sections. I was like, no, just make a good dogfighting game. It's not that hard.
It literally needs to be Squadrons. Was that PlayStation? That Star Wars game? Yeah, just make it like that. All right, my last one's a light one, but it's a fun one. It's a chill one. Princess Peach Showtime is the Dark Horse Game of the Year nom. Will bring the same Nintendo delight as Mario Wonder and be a must-play. I think that this game has the potential to be in the same realm of Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Yeah.
To hold down that spot. It's coming out at a similar time as that game. I think that they're no, this is going to be you're hell yeah, this game is way better than it has any right to be. I'm having so much fun, and it'll make a lot of top 10 in the Game of the Year list at the end of the year, and it will be not a Dark Horse Game of the Year nom, meaning it might not get nominated for the Game of the Year, but it will be in the general discussion in the same way that Pikmin was, the same way that Kirby was. It's going to be awesome, and I'm really excited for that title. I'm not excited to figure out...
Pikmin's a good comparison, I think. There was no way that was going to get nominated, but it could have. You know what I mean?
I also just want to throw this out there. This is not my crazy prediction. This is one that is on the cutting room floor. Dragon's Dogma 2 will get an 88 plus on Metacritic and be in the Game of the Year conversation. I think that is going to dominate a lot of the conversation this year. Capcom, dude, Capcom doesn't miss. I'm at the point that I'm just if they're putting in the budget and the time to make a terrific experience, I'm not talking about not Dino Crisis. What was that? Exoprimal. I'm not talking about Exoprimal. I'm talking about big budget. They know what they're doing in such a terrific way. I'm stoked for this game. Mm-hmm. Crazy predictions.
The Gnarls Barkley.
Dude, people watch this.
Yeah. Crazy prediction. The Gnarls Barkley prediction, as we call it. 2 words. Persona 6.
Oh my god.
I just flipped off the camera on accident. Yeah. It's fine. Persona 6. There you go. They're getting announced. It's getting announced at I'll just throw this out there, Game Awards next year, because we'll be past Reload. We'll be past Refantasio, Metaphor.
Yeah.
The slate is clean. It's time. It's been a long time since Persona 5 Royal. Persona 6.
I think if you want to get even spicier.
Persona 7, dude! No. Oh my god!
If you want to get even spicier, it's at the Xbox Showcase.
No. I took away the Sega prediction because I don't want it to happen at all. I do not want
Xbox to buy Sega.
That would be so
But
bad.
you know what I'm saying. That would be a balls to the wall, full on. Are you kidding me? This is happening right now, prediction.
What, do you think it's exclusive for a period of time?
No.
Like it was for P5? Okay.
It could be, but I'm just saying that would be awesome for Xbox.
It would be, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but that would if we're getting crazy. I'm just like that would be sick. They have such a great relationship with Xbox right now.
They can't move units in Japan. They know that it would be suicide for.
But what if that is the move? The unit mover for Japan.
They've already lost. They can't gain that back. The door is shut completely on Japan for them, it seems like.
All right. My Gnarls Barkley prediction. This is Nintendo's year. And I'm sticking with this as my prediction because it needs to be my prediction. What's up?
How's that a Gnarls Barkley? Of course
No, but we're gonna dive into it.
Okay.
This is where it gets fun. This is, as Obi-Wan Kenobi once said, where the fun begins, Connor.
Uh-huh.
3 of these 4. No more, no less, of these games will come out with the Switch successor this year. 2 of them will be day and date. 1 of them will be this year. Mm-hmm. I think that the Switch, by the way, comes out September-ish. So 2 in September, 1 in November of these 4 games. 3D Mario, easy. Fun, light prediction. It's going to happen. Mario Kart 10, I believe it's going to be called 10X or something because of Tor. It's gonna be awesome. If
it's called Mario Kart X, I'm jumping off this.
No, dude, you can't say things like that.
That would be disgusting.
It's gonna be called Mario Kart 10, I think.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 1-0. It's gonna look great. Metroid Prime 4. Mm-hmm. It's time. It makes sense. Apparently, that game is literally done, but they're having some graphical issues, which is apparently
for Metroid Prime.
Yeah,
where's that been said?
That it was rumor milled this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Are you just not on gaming leaks and rumors for Reddit? I scroll on that every single day.
I'm on Twitter, which is just the worst place.
I hate Twitter, dude.
But I get trickle down news or whatever every once in a while from Jeff Grubb and stuff.
So that's where I go to, and sometimes it's a rumor, sometimes it's a grain of salt rumor. Anyways, it's a good read.
But that's the thing is, I don't want to always get in the weeds on random rumors.
Oh, and then sometimes it's completely
just
wrong.
Garbage
yeah,
stuff,
it's garbage.
Yeah.
But I firmly believe that game is it's time,
mm-hmm.
and also talk about something to showcase the new console.
Right.
Last one of the 4, 3 of these 4. I'm not promising all 4. 3 of these 4 will hit. Mm-hmm. Is Ocarina of Time remake. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be awesome. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine? Mm-hmm. They start out the Switch presentation, Switch 2. Super Switch, all right? And they show off 3D Mario. Mm-hmm. Halfway through, we get a little Mario Kart. Mm-hmm. And then they show Metroid Prime. And you think that that's the last game. They build it up in a way that you're like, this is the last game. And then the music kicks in. I'm taking you on a little trip right now. The music kicks in.
Close my eyes for you. I don't even know if the mic can pick up on me right now because it's turned away, but close my eyes.
The Fairy Fountain theme. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Chat. Yeah, can you imagine if they actually do it? It is almost like Final Fantasy VII Remake, where it's break glass in case of emergency. You hit it once and you sell. You just sell everything.
The only issue is they've already done it once with the 3D remaster. I know,
but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
we all know what I mean.
Give me you got to modernize the hell out of this game.
Oh, yeah.
In a lot of ways. I got through it earlier this year for the first time.
Last year, it's 2024 now.
Damn, it keeps changing. Time keeps on moving. I got through it, and you can see the cracks or whatever that the simplicity of modern games or the comfort that we get from modern games when it comes to direction and hand holding just is not there, which is what a lot of people love and miss.
Yeah.
But you can't sell new people on that nowadays. I think a lot of people are going to be turned away by that, so they need to do a lot of quality of life stuff when it comes to that game, and I think they would do that. And I don't know if Nintendo is willing to put the resources in to do that when they could just make another another Zelda.
Here's the thing though, it's the music, it's the moment, it's
well, the music is a lot of the music is
redux, in other games, but it's just about those moments.
The moments
of like it's they can do it, and it would sell so like at the end of the day, life's in these companies. They love their fans, but it's also freaking money.
Right.
And you would make so much effing money if you did it. Oh my gosh. Developer Direct time.
Let's get into it. What do we know is going to be there? We know Avowed is going to be there. Yep. We know Hellblade's going to be there. Yep. We know
Indiana Jones is going to be there. And then there's some sort of live action something that's in there that's going to be updated. Let me pull up the press release. Dev Direct January 18th.
We've already kind of touched on Avowed and Hellblade. Do we want to?
I want to go back and talk about this. This is there was a minute count somewhere, and I did not know that there was a minute count. Okay. Oh, that is way smaller than I thought it was going to be.
How long is it?
They said a little bit over 10 minutes. Let me give. This is coming from Xbox News, Xbox Wire.
Damn, a little over 10 minutes. So what is it?
It's on Thursday, January 18th. By the way, it's Joe Screbbles from Xbox Wire. January 18th.
Joe Screbbles used to be from IGN.
I don't know.
Do you know they used to say his name kind of funny
all
the time.
Oh yeah, it's definitely been around.
Yeah.
And fans will get an inside look of a selection of highly anticipated games coming to the Xbox Series X, PC, Game Pass. Presented by the game creators themselves. Developer Direct offered an in-depth look at upcoming titles, how they're being created, and who's creating them. We'll visit Machine Games in Sweden to check in on their Indiana Jones game. Swing by Obsidian Irvine's office to see more from Avowed. Head to Oxide Games, Maryland, home to learn about Aura, History Untold, and take a trip to Cambridge, England to see Senua Saga Hellblade 2 from Ninja Theory. So those are the 4 games that will be there. It said 10 minutes somewhere, like on the little blurb when it popped up, but I want to double check. I don't see it anywhere in this article. Well, you can see it right there. It says 10 minutes from that Xbox Wire article. See that? Okay. So 10 minutes, not way shorter than the first one. The first one was like 35, 40 minutes long. It was a long show. Oh, yeah. I can look it up. It was not short because I watched all of it. We got 9 minutes of Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh.
Yeah. These Developer Directs slap, dude. Last year's Developer Direct was a top 5 showcase for me ever because they just it reopened up what a showcase could be.
But there wasn't a lot of devs talking and like kind of just talking through the game rather than showing the game.
I mean, there was a lot of gameplay shown. There was a lot of like scenarios shown. Like you actually understood what you're doing in these games. And 10 minutes is not enough for my
that's very
my
concerning.
Enjoyment.
Did we get a straight up trailer for Indiana Jones?
Last year, January 25th, 44 minutes.
That's weird.
So it says 10 minutes somewhere. Don't hold me to that. I could be wrong, but Connor also confirmed that it said 10 minutes somewhere. Yeah. Only 4 games.
Let's just talk about it without that 10 minutes.
Okay, yeah. Only 4 games. Yeah. I hope it's not. I hope we get a lot more than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Only 4 games.
It's great.
I'm Untold, whatever. I don't care about. It's not. It's some sort of strategy game. Not up our alley. If it's an awesome game, we're gonna be live reaction to this. I'm gonna be taking a half day from work. Connor's getting out a little early. We're gonna have a great time.
Yep.
Chilling here on the set. Indiana Jones. Do we want to start there, or do we want to go somewhere else?
Let's start with Indy. Do we get more than just like a little tease, like a little trailer? Because it's a Developer Direct. Like, are they gonna like talk about it?
They're going to talk about it, I assume.
And then show a little trailer?
I think that's what we get.
Like a tailored trailer?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think that's what we get to close it out. I think that this show opens
100%.
Opens with Hellblade, closes with Indy.
So
no surprises.
Oh, yeah, definitely no surprises.
Last year we got the surprise of we didn't know Tango was showing up.
Yes, we did.
No, we did not.
Oh.
The intro started, and then all of a sudden they were like, 5 developers, and then it like crossed out, and then they said 6 developers, and I was like, oh shit, we're getting something new, and it was Tango, and it was awesome, and then it's Nick's 3rd favorite game of all time. Like, it was terrific. But this year, it's 4 studios, more tailored, and Hi-Fi, which was obviously, in my opinion, the big announcement. And then they had Redfall to close it out, which they didn't show Starfield. So that was the big game that they wanted to discuss. I think that Indie could be in the middle in the same way Hi-Fi was. So like, you get the quick endorphin
they want to
hit.
keep people watching the whole time.
I think you might start with Avowed and then end with Hellblade, though.
That could...
And then you get Indie in the middle.
That's true, yeah.
With that being said, Indiana Jones, yeah, I think we get something short. I think that I'm praying 2 things. 1, gameplay. 2, 2024 date.
No chance.
There's also rumors that it's 2024.
Really?
Yes. Once again, you need to get on some of these rumor threads that I'm on.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
I mean, I don't...
Once again.
Yeah.
I doubt it!
But I'm telling you that there's a chance... Okay, let's start here. Those are 2 things that I would want.
Yeah.
Desire. Is gameplay possible?
Yes. But it would be like a short little, like, snippet. I don't think we're going to get, like, a...
5-minute scene
yeah,
or anything that.
Like... Similar to like the flashing between gameplay like fights from the last Hellblade trailer, like maybe like a little cutscene leading into like a
which is so cool.
For a second, I like didn't know what Indiana Jones did in my head. I was like,
gun,
and I was like, oh yeah, whip. Okay,
wait, fedora.
Not even grabbing my hat. I was like, I don't know what to do for this motion right now. I had a total brain fart there, but yeah, we got there in the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, and then it just like kind of like goes and like does like a few little flashes between some like sort of gameplay sequences. Like I feel like I have an Uncharted trailer in my head that kind of look like this or whatever. And that could be it. It is going to be very interesting. It's got to be. They've said third person, right?
We don't know. We literally don't know
yet.
Yet.
Game makes first person games.
I know. I think it could be first person.
There's no that you can't do whipping in first person.
You can't whip in first person.
It would look ridiculous and play ridiculous.
Why not? Well, maybe I'm dead serious. Maybe a stick motion. A whip crack.
I don't buy it. And you need that iconic like look, the Indiana Jones look. Like you need to see the character.
You need to see his hat and ass behind that shoulder, dude.
Is it Harrison Ford? Are we gonna see Harrison Ford lookalike, or is it just gonna be like?
It's got to be Ford in my mind. You got to have literally just.
I want them to get weird with it. Like just do like. Go balls to the wall, go crazy. Like, don't just do Uncharted. Don't just do what we got from Indiana Jones or whatever. Like, kind of like have fun with it.
I think that it's gonna be
safe.
So safe.
Yeah.
It's Disney. It like to some level you're pulling in a Disney IP. It's got to be. I think that this game is gonna be quality. I think it's gonna be safe. I think it's gonna be a lot like Tomb Raider and Crystal Dynamics Tomb Raider games, where it's like, oh, these games are way better than we expect them to be. Mm-hmm. But they're not, like, the greatest games of all time. Like, some of the Tomb Raiders are great and everything, but I just don't have crazy high expectations. Machine Games, one of Xbox's most valuable studios.
This might be my most anticipated Xbox game at this point.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Unless there was a new Doom game announced tomorrow.
I know that Sony gets bagged on for, like, making the same third-person action over-the-shoulder adventure games or whatever, like, over and over again, but, like... Man, did they speak to me? Like, I want another Uncharted, and this leaves that. This could fill that space or whatever.
Totally.
So yeah, all right. I'm stoked for it. I hope that we see. I think that what we were saying, a little the dev talking, little cinematic into a little bit of gameplay, and then maybe a year, and that's it.
Connor, I'm just gonna say something stupid, but I want to just say it. What if Hellblade or this Indiana Jones?
Shadow drop? Not a chance in hell.
Wouldn't it be the greatest day ever?
It would be the greatest day ever.
It would be the greatest day ever.
Hellblade would be the one, but they've shown that game so much, and there's so much PR and hype behind it. Like, there's no way.
I think, though, that... So, last time what I was hoping was we got a March date for Redfall, to get a summer date for Starfield, to get one end banger at the end of the year for Xbox's slate. What I didn't realize was they had their winter game, which was Hi-Fi. They had the shit show that was Redfall, and then they had Starfield to close it out. This year, do you expect these dates? Where do they line up? Because we talked about like what we expect from Avowed and Hellblade, but where do these dates land? Do we get dates for both of them at the end of this? Because we did it for Forza when it was at this showcase last year, which was insane. Everyone was like, "You're not giving us a date for Forza?"
Yeah, I think that they're probably trying to be really careful with the dates at Xbox to not like lock something in and delay it, especially after Halo Infinite
and Starfield. Starfield was delayed a whole year.
And and Infinite. I stand by the fact that I think it's avowed like towards mid-year, April, May,
and then Hellblade to close it out,
and then Hellblade later, if that.
Dude, they could come out with the biggest swing and have 3 dates for these fucking games.
Yeah. That would be huge.
It would change.
That would be huge for Xbox for 2024.
If they were like,
if their year this year is Hellblade, Avowed, and Indie, that is a great year.
Yeah. And if
that's better, that is a better year than Sony has had in all the PS5. If they're all great.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think one of them is going to be mid. So like that's the issue.
I don't know. I think Hellblade, obviously, but I think I could very well be wrong.
Yeah. And then also I think Avowed, I left the first Avowed trailer, like the cinematic bullshit that we got during the Xbox review, being like, oh, I'm excited for this. I was less excited watching the gameplay.
Yeah.
Because Obsidian, I don't think makes the most polished games at the end of the day, like graphically intense stuff like that.
Yes, they don't.
And so I was
they
like,
make very good games.
Good games, yeah. And so if they are able to deliver,
fucking New Vegas.
I know.
I mean, like,
but
even New Vegas doesn't look like crazy.
I know, but it's New fucking Vegas.
Yeah.
And so I think that they could deliver the goods. I know that we're talking a lot of Xbox today, but obviously this is. If you're watching this podcast in the 10 days leading up, or it's gonna be a week by the time it posts tomorrow, the hype, it's there. It's so. I just want to. I want it. I want this to be awesome. I'm so happy Xbox is doing this again, because if this is now this recontextualizes everything I thought about Xbox's releases, announcements, their Game Awards presence, everything. If they're like, hey, we were saying Game Awards, what the fuck? Why do you not have a Hellblade date? Oh, well, it's April, but we wanted to tell you on our own stage at our own thing. We want to give you just a cinematic showpiece for that. Cool. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, honestly, with that in mind, I could definitely see them putting a date on it here or whatever.
And then
if it's early in the year or whatever, that locks in that, and then I think Avowed is later in the year or whatever. Well, I don't know if Indiana Jones. I'm not ready to just jump on the rumor mill here and say Indiana Jones is 2024.
Dude, let's come on, man. Like, let's just. This game has been in development for a while. Like, it's been a while since Machine Games has shown up, and the tease happened when I was a sophomore in college for this fucking game.
Oh my God.
Like, where is this game, dude? I'm at the point that I'm like, cool, I think it's possible. If they come out and do it, which I mean, last year, my most anticipated game, which you're going to be like, are you kidding me, was Redfall. So I'm known to get burned by Xbox in them not delivering and the gameplay not being there when it needs to be there. But also something that was rumor milled, apparently they are testing, the Hellblade playtesters are playing it, and it's reviewing well for those people compared to where Redfall was getting reviewed. They're like, oh, it's low 70s when like they had their playtesters review it, which is like, they're like, oh, we know it's going to review in the low 70s. They didn't know it's going to be a bomb. But like, yeah, I am so stoked for this developer direct. I am so stoked to kick off this year with a terrific showcase. Give me a showcase that shows me what's happening for not just this year, but set the cadence for this is Xbox's year. If we leave there with 2 dates, huge win. And I think at minimum we leave there with 2 dates for those 3 games.
I think we get 1 date. Oh, dude, and the other 2 get shown. Because like I said, they're worried about dates at this point.
I know, but I think
they don't want to say anything until they know for sure.
I know.
And I think that's fair.
But like, why?
I don't think it would be bad either. Like it would lead to conversations like this, but I don't think that it would be bad overall for them not to say anything.
I know, but
when it comes to dates.
It's all about the timeline thing. In the same way that last year's developer direct, when we didn't see like this, we will leave knowing what the first 6 months of this year is. 6 months plus or minus a month. Like that July slate, maybe we get an Avowed date. But I would just do so many, like, just Hellblade, March something, Avowed, June something. Indiana Jones, 2024, you just won. You won. And then
Dark as well.
No.
That game's never coming out.
It's going to come out. It's just going to come out after The Last of Us Part 3.
Selling the Xbox Series
17.
I don't know.
All right, let's fucking draft.
We're getting in the draft. All right, I don't know who went first last week.
I can look it up. You just intro.
I think you went first last week.
I did because I picked a third person something. Oh man!
My goodness gracious!
Man, TikTok just loves showing me movie clips from sports movies. Love watching Moneyball on TikTok every single year.
Oh, dude, every year Moneyball comes back and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch fucking half of this movie on TikTok and clips.
Your first pick.
All right, let me get into it. Ready?
Yep.
Are you looking at my phone? I saw you looking. I saw you taking a peek. Come on.
I did actually take a peek, and that's not good.
Today, we are drafting. I'm gonna restart that. I choked on my words there for a second. Today, we are drafting Pokemon starters. We've heard the feedback. The fans think we hate Pokemon. I love Pokemon. The IP. I love the IP of Pokemon. I'm just disenchanted by the games at this point. That's all I'm saying. But I love the starters. They're very cute. They're very enjoyable. I grew up on this franchise. But it is important to note, we are drafting the starters. We are not drafting the evolutions.
Yep.
What they become. So, like, Charmander, we're not drafting Charizard.
Yep.
We're drafting Charmander. So, with that in mind, also, no Pikachu, no Eevee.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to pick from the 3 main starters. So,
yep.
Because Pikachu's OP, and honestly, Eevee's kind of OP as well.
Eevee's great. With
my first pick, I'm taking Chikorita. I freaking love Chikorita. I loved her in the anime, them in the anime, and I loved them in the game. That was my go-to for Gen 2. Chikorita with my first pick.
I'm so excited to Chikorita. I like on my board. It's on my. They're on my board. So like, I'm not upset that like it's not a bad pick, but it's not. I'm picking Charmander with my first pick because duh.
Charmander was my number 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chikorita was my 6 or 7. So yeah.
It's a different taste.
Fire types are rad though. So like.
You're gonna see what my preference is here.
I think you're also gonna see my preference too, and then I'm gonna pair them up with Mudkip. Mudkip's adorable. Mudkip is, I don't know who the content creator is, but you play poker and they use Mudkip as a card cover, and I love it. I love Mudkip so much. Yeah, terrific starter. Love my water types. You'll see that throughout this draft.
Awesome. I don't know if this is going to be included in the TikTok for it, but it's for Mudkip. It's I'm a firing my laser. That's fucking Mudkip. That's
you better include that, Jay.
So you went fire and water. I'm going leaf and water. My favorite Gen 1 starter is Squirtle. I love Squirtle. The Squirtle squad. Okay, put some glasses on that boy. Squirtle. Come on.
I'm gonna get my top 4.
With my number 3 pick, I'm going Trico. Gen 3 starter. Love me some Trico. Love the evolutions. I know that's not a part of this.
I know.
No, that's not a part of this. But I love the evolutions for Trico. I just think he's really cool. And he was my go-to for Gen 3. And Gen 3, that's my favorite gen.
Okay.
Still to this day.
I am going to go with my 1-2 punch. I literally have my top 4 on my board that I'm hitting, which I'm so stoked about. I'm going to go with number 3. My number 3 pick, Piplup. I love Piplup. It's just a cute-ass penguin. Who doesn't love a cute-ass penguin? That's awesome. And then I'm going to pair them up with Bulbasaur. I love my leafy dinosaur. Like, in Super Smash Bros., whenever I get the chance... He's a sore. But when I'm in playing Super Smash Bros., he's my go-to when I'm playing Pokemon Trainer. I always play Bulbasaur. So, yeah, I literally have my top 4. And I'm feeling real good about it.
So I have 2 and you have 1 left?
Yep.
Okay, I gotta play the board a little bit here.
No matter what, I get someone I want.
Alright, I don't have a fire type yet. Alright, I don't have a fire type yet, so I have to play the board here a little bit and take Litten with my 4th pick. I love Litten. I love cats. Gotta take cats and get a cat on my team here. Number 1 cat fan over here. Cats are better than dogs, everybody. If you couldn't tell by looking at me, that's an obvious tip that I have. And I honestly prefer this is you could go either way with this for 4 and 5 for me, but Litten and Totodile. Totodile, top tier, really cute, really awesome, kind of badass. Great partner to Ash in the anime as well. Totodile.
I want to shout out Turtwig. I want to shout out Chimchar.
I had Turtwig higher than those two, but I had to go and get a fire type in here because I already have 2 leaf types.
Oh, I don't care.
Grass types.
I just want the best lineup I can pick. And with that, I'm going to pick Oshawott. It's like almost a panda guy. Oh my god!
It's literally an otter.
I know.
Restart that.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna get flamed. You're gonna get flamed on the internet if you called
Tom
Nook a groundhog. Restart it because we want 2,000 people to see Nick make a fool of, or not even 2,000, 1,000 people to make Nick look a fool of himself. We can't let 50,000 people see Nick do that. So that's an exclusive for you guys.
With my last pick, I'm picking Oshawott. He's adorable. So cute. I love my water types. I here's the thing. I think I like the aesthetics of water types more than the fire types. I most of the time pick fire types.
Right.
But I mean, so freaking cute.
I feel like as boys growing up in the 2000s, we were like, fire! It's just like badass, dude. So you just went with the fire type always, and I did that a lot. And then as I grew up, maturing is choosing water or grass types.
Grass is dope.
Yeah.
I love my grass type Pokemon. But then you got I didn't get to shout this person out yet, but Quaxley, the hair of the small duck.
I hate Quaxley.
I love it. So
lame.
Stupid.
I hate that whole gen for starters.
You're not about that Foi Coco?
No, not about it. Not about it.
I am all about it. Well, that was our draft for Pokemon starters. Yeah.
So we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you guys so much for joining us on the casual gaming conversation. I'm Connor. That's Nick. We stream on Twitch Monday through Thursday, 7 to 10. Nick is playing Final Fantasy 9. I'm playing all the Sly Coopers. Brady's playing Doom, the original 2016.
Dude, what a lineup.
What a lineup. We had a lot of fun stuff coming up. Fantasy Draft, Doug Challenge. Look forward to that.
Me playing The Last of Us roguelite the night it comes out.
The night it comes out.
We got some reviews coming down the pipeline soon. That's going to be a ton of fun.
And new TikToks every day, at least once a day. We hope to see you over there, wherever you can find us. Join the Discord in the description, or look it up in the link tree on the TikTok as well. Having a lot of fun over there. We're going to wrap it up there. Thanks so much. Peace out.